Welcome to another interview for the Orlando Urban Film Festival. My name is Gabby Kennedy, and I am here with, I'm going to let you introduce yourself, and we are going to get into talking about your nomination. So please introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone, and thank you for having me. My name is Chris Anda. If people actually see the spelling of my name, I know the first question is going to be, is that the correct spelling? And the answer is yes, that is the correct spelling of my name. It's pronounced Chris. And I'm just really glad to be here and share some insight on the film and what it means to be a military veteran and share those stories. So thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So, Chris took part in the short film "We," which has been nominated for Best Short Film by a veteran or a military member. And you know that we do not take that lightly. We pay all of our respect to our veterans. So, thank you for your service, Chris. All right, Chris, what does it mean for you? What does it mean? How does it feel to be nominated in a film festival?
You know, I it's still hard to believe. And the reason why it's hard to believe is just because I came up with this story. I'm an actor, and little did I know that just coming up with a great story with a great message could lead to all of this. Just being
Yeah,
here, being able to share all this and speak about a great story with a great crew and cast is just something that's so exciting. Now, to be selected is a huge honor, but to be nominated, I'm just thinking to myself, I'm here to have a good time because this is already a great time for me, right? So it's a great experience, but more so than that, it's the first time experience for me. So I've actually never gone through this process. We're very excited about it, and uh, win lose it doesn't matter because the whole point is to share great stories with other creators and to share that with the world. So we're already winning. It's awesome.
absolutely. That's such a good message because sometimes things just kind of hit you like I'm here, like I'm doing this and I'm living in that moment. So don't forget to celebrate yourself. Don't forget to take this victory in. Like you said, win or lose, this is still a really great moment. Okay, so I want to kind of bring it back from that. We are going to talk about the short film "We" in just a minute, but I
Mhm.
want to know if you are in a situation, Chris, and you are on set and there's a vital part of something that you need, who you calling? Who, if you needed to say, I can depend on this person to bring my prop, I can depend on this person to bring my phone, who you calling?
So fortunately, I have two people, right? So the
Okay.
first person I'm going to have to say is going to be my partner, my girlfriend. Her name is Stephanie. She's been supportive since day one.
Hey, Stephanie.
If anything, she's the one that says, "Hey, you need to do this already. You need to pursue this." And it was during COVID, and after COVID had ended, I was like, "It's time to go." So I know that I can always rely on her. I know that she's going to give me a little bit of some words to say if I forgot something and I had to ask her to grab it for me. But she's just great. The second person would be a really good friend of mine, fellow actor, and he actually plays in the film as Jameson. His name is Adam Reeves. He was one of the first people I met when I started this acting journey, and we've been running ever since. So I know that he's one of those friends where if I called him as another actor, he's like, "You need it? I'm on my way. Where
Yeah.
is it? Let's go." So I'm just very grateful that I have at least one person, but it's what a blessing it is to have two people that I can reach out to.
That's so true. And people can relate to that. Some people are just on the journey by themselves. So
Mhm.
for you to have that support, and we're going to talk about support again later,
Mhm.
but just for you to have that support and those people that you know you can depend on, it's a great thing.
Yes, it is.
So I want to talk about we now. Okay, I want you to tell me about the story we and why you wrote it. What does the story mean to you?
That is a great question. You know, it's interesting how when I first thought of the story, I thought about all the different elements of what makes a story great, right? But then it really hit me that, sharing a story about the military, a veteran, the hardships, the trauma, the support that it takes, what it means to be dependent on people and
Yeah.
what it means to go through that experience, I realized that almost every aspect of the story is truly special. So the challenge was, how do I tell this kind of story? Now, before I actually say that, I want to give credit to where credit's due. This was not a sole me kind of effort. There was a lot of
So
people.
you didn't write, you didn't write it by yourself. Other people contributed to the writing.
Yeah, so the story was something that I had come up with, right? But then when it came to the writing, I needed some support as far as how do I piece this together that makes sense for just about anyone? Because I'm looking at it from a military veteran point of view, but I needed
Yes.
to be able to reach every kind of audience. So I needed that kind of support, and so there's people like Cody Fields, Drew Solberg, Adam Reeves. There's a bunch of people that helped facilitate the writing process, which I truly respect and I love, because as an artist, part of this is collaboration. And I love that. And I love that the Orlando Urban Film Festival provides a venue where we can showcase collaboration. So I'm really grateful. But as far as,
Absolutely.
yeah, so as far as writing the story, right? I am a military veteran. I served for 11 years and I did all kinds of things in many different places. So what I wanted to do with this particular story is how do I bring to the surface to anyone who's watching that every veteran has a story.
Hmm.
Every military person has a story. And
Yeah.
if people are willing to just sit down and listen enough, they will tell you that story. And I wanted to show a story, present a story that warrants what it means to truly understand sacrifice, trauma, and the title of the story is called We. And the purpose of that is to understand that just about everything in life, you can't do it on your own. There's some
Mm.
battles you got to fight, but really, to be able to go through that, it's going to take a team. And that is why it's called We. And if someone was to watch the story, they're going to ultimately see that none of the characters could have done it by themselves. It's going to take everyone. So if there was a passing theme through this, it's this really simple theme of we, not me.
Oh,
So that's the whole thing.
that's the clip right there. That is it right. Oh, that was so well said. That was so inspiring, and I felt that. Watching the trailer, and we'll share the trailer here. But watching that trailer, I knew that it was a deep story, and it's not something that if you haven't been through those experiences, you can't make this stuff up. So thank you for sharing your story, and I'm sure other people's story tied into this as well. Damn, it's just we like my story. I feel like my story might be in there too. Like
If,
that's so dope.
if
That's
I
so
may, can I add something to that?
yeah.
So the complexities of the story, and if when people are able to watch it, I'm very grateful if and when they can. The true aim of the story was to reach people where they're at. And
Mhm.
part of being a military veteran and going through such experiences, sometimes the best way to reach someone is to go to them. The story was meant to approach everyone in their own way. So if you watch the movie and you'll see that every character is in a different place in a situation, the idea here is it's meant to be relatable to just about everyone. So when you watch the movie and you see the therapist, you're going to relate to that person as either a father or a guardian, someone protecting someone, loving someone. You're going to be able to relate to a spouse, whether you see a wife or a husband, you'll see that. What it means to have marital problems and what it means to share in relationships, what it means to have a friend who can guide you and encourage you through situations. And then ultimately, what it means to be the hero of your own story so that when you're suffering and you're going through something, you know that sometimes you're going to need something inside of you that you haven't noticed yet. And it's
Mm.
going to take everyone to bring that out of you to really get through that. So ultimately, someone who's watching this will be able to relate to just about every character, whether you're in the military or not. And that's what I love about this story so much.
Oh, that's so good. I feel so grateful to have this conversation with you and to be sharing this real story. Like to be a storyteller is no light thing. It's like it's real work. It's real kingdom work that happens
Mhm.
through telling stories. So man, gosh, I just gotta gather myself because I know something that's so real.
Mhm.
So thank you for being transparent and sharing your story. Really,
Mhm.
um, Can you tell me a little bit? You mentioned earlier about the team,
Mhm.
and when we spoke to Drew, he mentioned, you know, the location and everything like that. Can you tell me more about the team that helped bring this project to life?
Yeah, I am very grateful to be in the company of people that are truly passionate about creating amazing stories and content, right? And I think part of the reason why we were so successful in being able to do such a project and to create such a film is that everyone rallied behind the story and the
Mm,
premise of the story. So as I speak about these people, just know that deep down inside of them, they believed in the story. Now, truth be told, I'm the only veteran, I'm the only military person, but because they believed in the story and what it meant to work through problems and situations and work together, this process was a testament of the story itself of what it means to work together and to get through this process. Now, I believe Drew might have mentioned that we shot in Seattle, right? So most
yes.
of the talent, well, actually, all of the talent came from LA because I'm from LA, and I
Okay.
brought my friends and people that are collaborative and experts in their field, and we went up there, and then we did this whole thing. Now, I was able to work with Cody Fields and Lexi Hermes, who were also producers as us in this, and they were helping facilitate the different logistics, storytelling, all those elements. So I'm really grateful for them.
Yeah.
Rachel Sleek, Ed Miller, Adam Reeves, these were other actors that are in the film. And what's so great about them is they're so passionate about the craft that when we were collaborating and we were going through the table reads, we would often talk about what is the pain of these characters, like what is driving these characters. And nothing could excite me more as a producer and as a writer than when an actor asks, what is their pain, what is that? Because when you can relate to that pain, now you can bring your real life experiences and make this real. And that's ultimately what it was. And then
Oh,
Drew Solberg, who is the director, is my brother-in-law. He married my sister, right?
oh,
So
your sister is beautiful. I did. Yes. Oh, nice. Yeah.
yes, Drew has a similar passion in creating awesome stories. And it just so happens, and I'm really grateful for this, that his passion and my passion, we just started running and we just met at a certain point. And
Yeah.
him and I looked at each other like, you, me, let's do it, run it.
Yes.
And we just ran. So he's got an amazing mind, and I'm really grateful to be working with him. So ultimately, there's a lot of different factors that came into this, but I'm really grateful for these people. And then last but not least, and I have to really put it out there because it's true, I have
Okay.
to shout out to all the people that supported us, meaning our friends and our family, uh, the relationships and stuff. To be able to build such a project, it actually takes so much more than just our collaborative efforts
Oh,
individually.
yeah.
And so I would be wrong to not have shared the praise of all these people that poured into us and allowed us to do these kinds of things. Uh,
Yes.
because without them, I mean, it wouldn't have been as great as it is now.
Yeah, absolutely. It takes a team. Gosh, and now I'm not going to be able to stop thinking about we, like just not me, we, like all of us. You know what I'm saying? And it took a lot of people to make the project happen.
Mhm.
So hats off to you guys. What are some of, as an actor, Chris? What are some of your who are some of your inspirations?
Oh my goodness. Wow. I have to say this. So these are some of my inspirations, and hopefully one day I get to meet them.
Yeah.
And if I do, I would have much to say about what they've done for me and where they're pushing me. And it's just really exciting to think about. One of the people that I'm gonna share a few, and I'll make it quick. One of them is I really do respect Keanu Reeves, and part of the reason why I respect him is I don't know the guy, but based off what I've heard and what I've read and stuff like that, he seems to be the kind of guy that wants to share in the blessings, whether it's gift giving and being able to give back. And I think that now it's not that I think what I believe is that when you are blessed with opportunity and be able to share in these things, you owe it to yourself and to others to be able to share that and lift other people because
Yeah.
you didn't do it by yourself. And so he's a prime example that inspires me that you couldn't do it on your own. And once you are able to achieve these things, be able to give back and share abundantly. Kindness is free. You got to give it. You got to give it.
Yes.
Another person that I enjoy their work is Chris Pratt. I think he's funny. I like the roles that he does, and I
Yeah.
really like that whether he's on screen or off screen, he just seems to be a person that is who he is and proud to be who he is. And I think that in a world where we feel pressure to be something else, I think true success is being able to be yourself abundantly,
Oh, yeah.
proud of that. And I think the world needs more people like that. And I love that. And that inspires me. Another
Yes.
person that I would mention is I do really, really respect Denzel Washington. And part of the reason why I respect him and he inspires me is he just, when I watch him act, I can tell that it's coming from a real place.
Oh, yeah.
It's in acting, we call it to live fully, to be full of this character, to be full. And when I see him act and the conviction of his words and how he presents these characters and just living in these moments, I know that it's coming from a real place. And as an actor, all you can hope for and aim for is to bring real life behavior,
Yeah.
real life emotions, and make it real.
Yeah.
And then the last I have to share is I wouldn't be where I'm at without my parents. Now,
Yes.
they're not actors, but I did learn a lot from them. But part of the reason why I have to share them is because I'm very grateful that I grew up in a home where I never had to worry whether or not my parents loved me. I never
Oh,
had to worry whether or not they were proud of me. And their love and how proud they were of me had nothing to do with what I produced. It was just because of who I was. And because of that selfless love and that encouragement, it gave me everything that I needed to just chase anything in this life and know that it's going to be okay, whether I hit it or I don't. And I'm trying not to get emotional, but
oh, that's big. I feel that though. Yeah.
they are the inspiration. So yes.
Yeah. Um, I I love the way that you expressed all of your inspirations because I think that it's important for people to hear that you had very real and valid reasons why these people inspire you. You know, I'll give an example. There's a difference in being a fan of someone and being inspired by someone. If here's a challenge, guys. If you're a fan of someone, take a second and say, what about this person's life am I a fan of? Is it just things that are on the surface? I like the way that they dress, the way that this, but is there other things deeper that inspire your life, things that you can take and apply to your life about this person? Some people stop giving these fools your attention. Some people don't are not really fan worthy. Some of them have, are not really people of substance, is what I'm trying to say. But when you have people, Denzel, Chris Pratt, Keanu Reeves, your parents, shout out to mom and dad.
They
um,
are great. They
those
are.
are real inspiration. Those are things that you can apply to your life. So thank you for expressing that. I'm gonna take that and make that a clip too. I'm gonna try to get that to Chris Pratt and Kiana and Denzel for sure. Um, so we earlier we mentioned support, right? So how can we, the film community, how can we support you as an actor, a writer, producer? Like, what is how can we support you?
That is a great question. I have to be fully transparent and tell you that I don't really know the full extent of what it means to support me. I
Yeah.
wish I could come up with a list of things, but what I can say from my experience and from where I'm at in this journey is I believe that I will not stop creating stories. I will not stop collaborating. And there's too many positive messages that the world needs to hear. And there's
Mhm.
so many things out there that need to be created. And I would hope that in the future, if people do wish to support that to be on the lookout, because these positive messages and stories, I'm inspired to share that with the world. And if the world is willing to listen, willing to watch, it'll make a difference. And for me, I don't need to make the difference in the entire world. I just need to make the difference in one person. And if that person lives their life fully and can inspire someone else, then they'll inspire the next person. And ultimately, by being able to inspire individual people, which will ultimately affect their community, their families, and the world around them, I ultimately believe that'll change the world. So that's what I would say.
Ooh, I'm inspired by you. I'm inspired. Your conversation is phenomenal, and you are an inspirational person. And to me, it seems like that's how you live your life. So I'm sure that everybody that you come in contact with can immediately feel the different, see the light. They can see the light in you. That's what I see, Chris.
Thank you.
Um, I think one thing I'll say about support is supporting 2010 me is different than supporting 2024 me. So if you knew something, if you knew what I was doing, then to the people who are closest to me, they might have said, "All right, well, this was good enough for her then." But in 2024, it's a little bit different. So when people stick with you and they continue to watch your journey and watch your growth, the support just sort of changes. And I think that people always want to say, "Oh, well, nobody is supporting me." But I think that it's important to also be vocal about what that support looks like to you. Even somebody like Denzel Washington, I would love to hear him say what type of what support means to him, because there's probably a lot of different definitions for him, or ways that you can support him as well, right? It's for us all. So
If I may, can I comment on that? One of the things that I've learned in this journey, especially coming from the military, transitioning from the military to what I call the civilian world, and then the civilian world into the creative space of storytelling and acting and creating and collaborating,
gosh.
I have to say that when it comes to support, one of the best things I could encourage people, I don't want to tell people, but to encourage people, is sometimes the best way to support someone is to just be next to them.
Be
Sometimes
present.
just be there, to live fully next to someone. And sometimes when people are going through something, all they really need to know is that you're next to them, and they just need to know that you're with them. And then let that unravel as it becomes. And when they become more comfortable, they will share what it means to be supported in the way that works for them. And I
Yeah.
think that that's the safe approach, which is why sometimes when people come to me and they ask for advice, or when they come to me and they vent about a situation, the first thing that I ask them is, would you like me to listen, or would you like me to respond? Because that will aim the conversation and it'll allow me to just listen and be with that person. So
Oh, that's so good. I want to write that down, but I'm not going to stop. Would you like me to listen, or would you like me to respond? Yeah.
most of
Yeah.
the time, people just want to be heard. They just
Yeah.
want to know that what they say is important, and it is.
Yeah. Ooh, that's good. All right. When you were in the military, right, Chris?
I was.
When you were in the military, did you ever see your journey leading you into being an actor or writer, producer?
Yeah. No. Just I'll say it right now. No, what I was doing in the military. I was part of a special unit, and we specialized in jumping out of airplanes. We had carried guns. We were shooting. We were doing all kinds of different tactical movements and all that kind of stuff. So to be able to tell my former self back then that this is what I would be doing, that guy would be laughing at me and be like, "Get out of here," right? But
Yeah.
I can tell you this, there was a part of me in my life that transpired through all these years. And I believe that many people are on the same journey as well. That there's a part of you that feels like I could be doing more. I want to do more. I know that I can share something and I want to give to something. I don't think that most people are looking at life going, I want to take, I want to take, I want to take, I want to take. But I think that there's a bigger part of each person that says, if I could, I would.
Yeah.
Could give, I would give back, right? And it comes from a place of this mindset of abundance. Now, when I moved through this space and going through this, I just knew that there are so many traumatic times in my life, so many hard experiences that it had to lead me somewhere. And then when it got me to this place, I'm like, okay, here's the place where I can share it. I can give. So let's.
Mhm.
And so it's been a journey, and one of the things that I've learned the most in this process, and this is so great and I'm so grateful, is that everything happens for a reason, right? And the fact that you're still standing here today means that you made it through even your toughest days in your past. So
Yeah.
journey is above you and it's in front of you, and you got to just keep going. You got to keep going.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Gosh, this has been a great conversation. um, Chris, I want to ask you, is there a place where, or where can people connect with you? Where can the viewers uh, connect with you for collaborations, or even is there a place where we can watch the film We?
Yeah, so I'm very grateful that it will be premiering at the Orlando Urban Film Festival. So that is such a huge accomplishment in itself. So those that are able to come will be able to watch that. But once we've run through the film festivals and stuff like that, we just plan to make it public and share it with everybody. The whole point of this story was to bring awareness for mental awareness, what it means to have relationship help, what it means to go through substance abuse, because you will find that here. Um, and where the whole point is to just be able to share this with the world. So once we get that out, we'll share that with you, and if you want to share that with the viewers, that would be great. But ultimately, we did not come into this trying to make money. We just wanted to be able to share a great story with people that really need help. And I do believe not only do the military members need help or the first responders need help, but their families need help. The support that it's going to take to keep families together through hard times. That is the story right there. So,
Yeah.
as far as how to connect with me, I do have an Instagram. In this day and age, when you're an actor, you kind of have to keep up with social media. So I do have that. It's at Chris Anda, just my name all the way through. And then if people want to reach out for collaboration, I can share you my email and so forth, and then we can get in touch and do that. But ultimately, if you're looking for someone who just truly is passionate about this process, wants to create, bring real life stories, and make it real with full
Yeah.
characters, I'm fully on board with it. It'll be fun.
Yes. Yes. Okay. All right. So, Chris, my last question for you is, if you could give advice, and this is what the Actors Talk is all about, sharing with the people in the community. Sometimes something may be said here that people may not have access to otherwise. Nobody's going to tell you certain things. You just have to kind of get into the hustle of acting, into the business of acting, to learn on your own. So I like to just sort of put certain things out there right up front.
Mhm.
Chris, if you could give a filmmaker or an actor or even a writer advice, what advice would you give?
That's a great question. I have a few things to say about that, so bear with me. So, uh,
Please do.
first things first is that I would have to say that if there's a part of you that truly believes in something, whether it's your craft of acting, filmmaking, your own story, you absolutely owe it to yourself to follow through and find out where that will take you. You have to try it. You have to give it everything you've got, and you owe it to yourself, because truth is, in this life, not everyone will understand. Your parents may not understand, your spouse may not understand, your relationships may not understand, and that's okay, because that was meant for you. And it's your journey to take, and your journey to take yourself to figure out what that is, and you owe it to yourself to find out. So first things first is, if there is that part of you that feels it, that inclination, you owe it to yourself to find out.
Mm,
Not give up on that. So
yeah.
that's first things first. Second of all, I would have to say that you have to take risks. You have
Yes.
you just have to put
Yes,
yourself
you
out there.
do.
You have to take risks. And for those out there, and I know there's a few of you watching that are going to be like, well, what if I'm not successful right in the beginning? Or what if I don't have enough views? Or what if I don't get picked up by an agent? Or what if it doesn't work out in the beginning? Then I'm going to say, well, welcome to the journey, because that's just about everyone else. That's just part of the journey. One of the things that I often will share with other people is like, well, I'm not getting the opportunity that I deserve. And I have to often tell them and say, do you honestly feel like you're ready? And it's okay if the answer is yes or no. But the reason why I ask is, what if Steven Spielberg brought you into his office and gave you the opportunity of your lifetime, and you didn't do as well as you wanted, and that was the only shot you got, right? So the idea here is to get ready, stay ready, to
Stay
harness
ready.
your craft, to learn and master your craft, because timing is everything. And when the time is right and that preparation meets opportunity, it's see ya. Gotta go.
Yes.
Take care of people. Another thing that I want to share is do not be afraid to seek help and mentorship. You have to reach out to people who know more than you, have gone further than you, and put yourself in a student mindset of please teach me, help me understand. And as long as you are in a state of learning and growing, you will stay humble. And as long as you're humble, you will climb this ladder no matter how long it takes, and you'll be able to get to where you want to go. The last two things I want to say is open yourself to opportunities. You have to. You have to be able to walk through any door if it feels safe and right, but you have to
Yeah.
be able to open yourself to different opportunities. And the Orlando Urban Film Festival is a fantastic opportunity. I'm very grateful. This interview is another opportunity. And to be able to be open yourself to such opportunities, you just never know where you're going to go.
You
And
never
ultimately,
know.
you go places, right? No one wants to sit there. And then the last thing I will say, and this is just really important here, is your purpose and your why has to be bigger than you. It has to
Ooh.
be bigger than you, because what you want for yourself, I mean, you may have a big imagination, but it's
Yeah.
limited, right? But when you make it bigger than yourself and you want to serve people and you want to give back to people, then the whole world is open to you. And when people know that about you and they believe in that in you, trust me, you will not have a hard time finding members that want to support you, that want to give to you, that want to collaborate with you, because that is ultimately what's going to push the bounds of all kinds of limits. And you're just going to really, really do that. And then I know I said that was the last thing, but I would be wrong to say that you have to believe in something, whether people believe in God or not, it's up to them. But you have to have faith, and you have to be able to push through all these things. And when you do, and you add all these pillars and bricks together, oh man, you're going to be building a road of success for others will follow and support
Mm.
and be inspired. And then one day people will be saying the same thing about you, like, I'm inspired by that person. How did they do it? And you'll be ready to give back.
Yeah. Oh, Chris, that was so good. I'm telling you, sometimes you may share information that will change somebody's life. They feel like they're in it by themselves, but it's really everybody has questions. Everybody needs support. Everybody needs someone. That information was golden. That was so good and so positive. I urge everybody, if you're doing it, just continue to remember what is your why. Why are you doing it? Check in on yourself. Am I still doing it for the right reasons? And if not, get back to what was driving you in the first place. Um, Gosh, that's such great information. Thank you so much for sharing that. Chris, one more time, please tell people where they can connect with you.
Yeah. So my Instagram is at Chris Anda, just the way that's spelled, KSCHRISANDA. My email is chrisanda@gmail.com. So feel free to reach out as well over there. And if anyone has Drew's contact info, him and I are we stay in contact too, so people can reach out to that as well. I do want to tell people that do not be afraid to reach out. Feel free to reach out. And if
Yes.
I'm the kind of person that if I don't have the answer, I will find an answer for you. And I will help you link up with people that would help you and support you. And you will definitely hear a few words of encouragement from me, because I understand that this is a journey and you should not be on your own doing it, right? It's we, not me. So just remember that.
That's right. So, Chris, again, one of this year's best short film nominees, Chris Anda, absolutely phenomenal. Um, Again, congratulations. Don't forget to celebrate yourself in the biggest way. Like, don't just like, all right, I'm nominated. What's next? I think we do that, right? Like, we just want to continue to achieve, but like, really soak in the moment. I am nominated for a story that I put out. That's so big. And I'm so grateful to be in this moment with you.
Well, if I
Um,
may, can I share a quote that inspires me every day that I just got, it keeps me going?
Please do. Yeah.
So I heard this quote a while ago, and ever since I heard it, it's one of those things where you hear something, and you're like, I am never going to forget that. That is really, really good. And so I wanted to share this because I believe that someone out there, if they hear this, it might just be something special for them. So I heard this and it's been driving me ever since. It says, you can't just pray like it depends on God. You have to work like it depends on you. And I love that because it keeps me going to think that you have to do everything on your end. You have to really do everything on your end. And then everything else outside of you will work itself out. So again, it's you can't just pray like it depends on God. You have to work like it depends on you. So for everyone listening, work like it depends on you. All right.
Yes, it took me a minute to process that, but I really do connect with that.
Yeah.
People pray. I believe in God. I pray and I pray, but you have to also work at it too. You have to you have to do actions. I'm trying to say something, but you have to put yourself into it too. God hears your prayers. He's answering your prayers, but you have to also take initiative and work towards it too. It's a partnership.
It really is. It's a collaborative effort.
Collaboration. Me and God are collaborating on this whole thing.
That's right.
All right. Kschris, before I let you go, when you think of Orlando, you think of Orlando, Florida, what comes up for you?
Okay, so I think of a few things, right? I'll share a few. Number one, I think of Disney World because everyone says it's the happiest place on earth, and it's a really happy place. So I have to give it up to them. There's Universal as well. I actually shot for a commercial and they flew me out to Universal to do that. So I've been blessed with a lot of work in acting. So they flew me there and that was an amazing time. So there's that. I think of the military because I have a lot of military friends who retired and they're out and they live in Orlando. So it's a great time to see them every single time I go. Yeah. And the last thing I'm going to think about when I think of Orlando is the Orlando Urban Film Festival. So thank you so much for this opportunity, for this interview, for the people that have watched the film, and for all of you that will watch the film. I am so grateful, and I hope that it reaches you in a place that will inspire you to know that it's not just you, that there's more people around you, and that you can get the support that you need to do great things in this world.
It's not just me, it's we.
That's right.
All right. So I want to really give a shout out to one of our sponsors, United Arts, because the arts matter. And if it wasn't for our sponsors helping us bring this film festival to life, we would not be able to hear from amazing stories like we. So Kschris, keep writing and keep doing what you're doing. You said that you're in LA, right? You're in California. All right. Yeah. All right. So I'm wishing you the absolute best. Now, will I see you at the Urban Film Festival?
I do plan on going. I am bringing my family. I have a few military friends that live in Orlando. They're going to go. They're very excited. They honestly couldn't believe that this is what I was doing based on what we were doing in the military. Like, this is
right.
So they're excited. And we're really excited to be there and to meet everybody and to be able to share a great story and to see other people put up their stories. Because again, this platform for the Orlando Urban Film Festival is not just for myself or the team or the film, but it's for all the collaborators and creators. And what a great opportunity it is to be able to share all this. So I'm excited for all of us, really. It's going to be a great time.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So again, Kschris, thank you so much. Kschris and to everybody, thank you so much for joining me and good luck on your nomination.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, Kschris.
Bye, everyone.